Dalton Wolfe from sheismore.com, and today I'm really excited to talk to you about relationships, rowboats, and Ruth. And the reason why is because the last couple weeks I was just going through a hard time, which I've talked about, and I realized that during the hard time, instead of reaching out to other people, I actually withdrew and isolated. And that seems to be a tendency for a lot of us when we're going through something or when we're feeling down. We tend to withdraw and disconnect until we have it all together again, and then we plug back into relationships or plug back into people, when really it's supposed to be just the opposite. So I petitioned God to hold him accountable to his word that says his power is made perfect in our weakness. And I was like, okay, Lord, I admit it. I am weak and I'm looking for your power right now. Like, bring it on. You are welcome to shine, because it says in Corinthians that I will boast all the more about my weaknesses so the power of Christ may rest on me. And so I was like, well, I want the power of Christ to rest on me because I am insufficient and I can't do everything on my plate alone anymore. And so I asked him to hold himself true and to show himself true to that promise in the word. And throughout the next week after that, I realized that I felt so much rest and relief. The reason was because his power was manifesting actually through the body of Christ. It was manifesting through other people. After I made this petition, I went over to a friend's house who prayed for me, and as she was praying for me, she reminded me of a ship in distress in the middle of a storm. There are a lot of different anchors that ships or boats will let out of the boat based on what they want to do. And when a ship is in distress, it lets down the heaviest anchor that goes deep into the sand so that the rope tightens and it doesn't allow for any drag at all. And so when we are in the middle of the storm, that's when we're supposed to let down the anchor and let it get really deep, when we're supposed to be rooted in the hope of Christ and in our faith. And when we're just supposed to rest. And she was like, so what happens when you have all of this stuff to do, but you're supposed to rest? Well, that is when the rowboats of assistance come in. When that big ship is in the middle of the storm and it anchors deep, it can't do anything but remain and to essentially rest. But that's when the rowboats come in to assist and help that ship. And that sounds really great in theory, but to me, I was like, I don't want help. I don't want assistance, because that's letting people into the mess. And I think we can feel like that oftentimes. We don't want to allow people in to our vulnerability or into our situation, because then people will see our imperfections. And it was really cool because God was so sweet in actually showing me what it looks like to have people reach out and for his power to be manifested through the body of Christ and through people. And what I learned is that a relationship with God is everything. It is first and foremost, but we're actually called to be in relationship. We're actually called to reach out to people in our distress and to allow them to come in and to assist and to aid us when we are in distress. And that is what he showed me this week through other people just coming in to help me. So if you are going through a hard time right now and you are just feeling disconnected from other people, or you're feeling isolated, I really encourage you to at least talk to someone and not just send them a text to let them know something on the surface level that you need prayer for, but actually go to someone's house or have them come to your house and just talk to them, process what you're going through so they can minister to your heart. And you will be so surprised how nourishing it can be when you decide to drop down the anchor deep into your faith, into the hope of Christ, and to allow the body of Christ to come in to minister and to nourish your hearts. So I hope that this blessed you today. If it did, I would love to hear your comments. Please share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and follow me on social media at Kristen J. Dalton. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.